Today is a great day to be a Tiger. JSU by 40 campaign. Coach Taylor, I was just thinking, I was sitting in my office and we were talking about Jackson State athletics, the tradition of Jackson State. You played here. What if 50,000 alums gave $40 a month for 12 months?
Man, that would be huge. That's money in the bank for athletic program.
Let's do this, Coach. I'm challenging all 50,000 alumni of Jackson State University, supporters, fans. Let's give $40 a month to JSU by 40 campaign. 12 months, 12 million, September to August. Let's win championships in the classroom. Let's support Jackson State University. Let's support athletics. And let's make sure our coaches and our student athletes are successful. So again, Coach Taylor and I are challenging you, all 50,000 alums, $40 a month for 12 months to support Jackson State athletics. Go Tigers.
Go Tigers.
Support the JSU by 40 campaign. Visit gojsutigers.com/JSU by 40.
Football is back, and BetOnline is your number one information source for all your sports wagering info with all the up-to-the-minute stats, news, scores, and matchup breakdowns. Get the latest game odds, spreads, and totals from the NFL and college football at your fingertips with BetOnline's real-time updates on statistics, news, and odds. From week 1 all the way to the college football playoff and Super Bowl, BetOnline gives you access to the best football promotions and contests available anywhere online. Head over to the website today or use your mobile device to get in on the action. Remember to use the promo code BLEAV, that's BLEAV, to receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Bet online, where the game starts.
Welcome back to Tiger Talk with the 1400 Club. Y'all know who it is. It's your main man, Ken Clark. Got another special guest in the building. We got the Assistant Athletic Director of External Operations and the Director of the Stadium, Mr. Terrance Jones. Welcome back to Tiger Talk. What's going on, buddy?
Hey, it's always a pleasure to be here, Ken, man. I hope all is well with you and yours.
Absolutely, man. I mean, I'm happy, man. We ready to play in the vet, man. I know everybody, all the fans have been really most importantly, Coach TC and his staff and the players have been excited about finally being able to play at home. A grueling road trip, but now we get to come back home to the vet, man, and we're excited about that. But as far as this, it's same business as usual. Tiger Talk. We try to get in and communicate with those that the Tigers want to listen to and talk to, and we're happy to have you back on, brother.
Oh, it's an absolute honor and a privilege. I appreciate you all having me.
No problem at all. First off, we just want to, how's the week been for you, man, leading up to the first home game for you and your team? I see you still at the stadium working. We appreciate you for taking some time out your busy day to sit down with us for a second and give us some of your time, man. But we appreciate that, but I'm pretty sure it's been hectic. Speak to that a little bit.
Oh, yeah, we just been, trying to pull and put everything together to just kind of make sure that the experience is a good one when people come to the vet this weekend. Working on some maintenance things and just prepping, just all this stuff. We haven't really had a major event in here since graduation and then the spring game. So, over time, you just want to make sure that you're going in and checking on the things that need to be checked on and make sure all the light switches work and all that stuff and just getting everything ready to receive our fans.
Awesome. I know we had you on the show last year, and you dropped a lot of gems on us. One in particular, I know you did. This will be the second year we're going into the season with the awesome season ticket cards and just that amongst so many other things. Is anything different this year? That fans need to be aware of.
I commend the fans this year because the process was way easier this year. We weren't having to work through two different systems to make one. And we sent out reservations beginning on February 1st. And everybody immediately start, responding and picking up their ticket links and all that. So we haven't had any lines over here in
Wow.
regards to that. And then when the time came to pick up, it was a very simple process. We had everything packaged up. If you got tickets and parking, when you came to pick up your stuff, it was already packaged and waiting on you. You give us your name, we give you a package, you sign, and you have a great day. So that whole situation has been streamlined, and we feel really good about where it's headed and how it'll help us in the future.
Awesome. Is there when you speak of just how fans have been, I know just speaking with Vaughn, who's heads the ticket office for you, and just talking about the importance of everyone taking advantage of this week. Getting there, making sure that everyone has their season tickets, has their
Mm-hmm.
tailgate parking slip, has their parking passes. Because on Saturday, I would think that you guys would be all locked in on the day of the game, and not so much as dealing with any of that stuff. Is there any type of messaging out there that you'd like to possibly communicate with fans, or even speak to the process of how you'd hope that would be?
Yeah, the hope is everybody has taken the time and come by and picked up whatever you need. But if you find yourself being a late bloomer in that regard, and you arrive in town on Friday during our business hours, we'll be here. We'll be able to get it to you, and that way you don't have to run around or jump through a bunch of hoops on Saturday. But our hope is that everybody that purchase something, you have what you need, and we look forward to hosting you all on Saturday.
Okay, good deal. So game prep, like I said, there's a lot that goes into game prep. I mean, with
Mm-hmm.
the painting of the field, like you said, checking of the lights. Is there like kind of give us a behind the scenes, just in your own words, kind of what all goes into game prep for those of us that does not understand. We show up, the lights are on, the field is painted, everything's ready to rock and roll. We scanning our QR codes, and we ready to sit down and hear the boom come in. But prior to that,
Mm-hmm.
there's just so much that's happening. But speak to that, kind of give us a somewhat of a brief synopsis of what that looks like.
Yeah, I mean, we continuously have meetings that ranges from everybody with Homeland Security, FBI, um, campus security, all of our vendors, and all of that. So we have those meetings, which are continuous all year long. And then, we flip the switch and I'm meeting with vendors that may need to do some work, making sure that the elevators are properly functioning, um, all of that stuff. And then we work on the cleanliness of the stadium, trying to get, stuff scrubbed down and cleaned up in such a way where we'll be ready to go on game day. Power washing, just doing a little bit of everything, really. And then ultimately, when it gets to game week, like you said, painting the fields, making sure that everything's moved at the right height, ensure that the field has the right amount of moisture in it. There are a ton of things that pertain to a playing surface that if that's not necessarily your thing, right, you wouldn't necessarily know. All you know is the grass is either green or it's brown, but there are a lot of things that go into it to make sure that it's a proper playing surface for the student athletes to ultimately help reduce injury and things of the like. So we take all of that very seriously, and we take great pride in it.
Awesome, awesome. First game is going to be an evening game, man. We got a 6 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
kickoff. I
Mm-hmm.
know a lot of our fans are excited about that. I mean, I think last year's first game against Grambling was brutal. It was in the middle of the heat. It was something to deal with. This heat has been a little different. But is there
Mm-hmm.
anything? Is there a different preparation? As I'm pretty sure there is, but we'll speak to the difference between preparing for, say, a day game as opposed to this being a evening game outside of the lights.
Yeah. So a day game is simply just that. It's a day game, but a night game or evening game turns into a day, really 2 days wrapped up into one event, because you got the lead in and then you kind of not necessarily just sit, but you got all day of that event day, and then you catch it on that night, and then depending on how you finish up and all that, it rolls over into the next day. So it kind of elongates how we have to prepare, how we strategize and man hours and all that other stuff to make sure that everything is clicking on all cylinders. Because if it was a day game, okay, everybody come in the morning, we set up everything, and then by the time the sun goes down, we pretty much are closing the curtain, so to speak. Well, in this
Right.
particular regard, the sun goes down, we're opening up everything. It'll roll into the event. Then after that, a lot of people are gonna go back and continue to tailgate into Sunday or whatever, and then from there, then we catch it on the back end to reset it and just prepare and get ready for whatever comes next.
That's good stuff to know. So let me ask you this: we just come from San Marcos, right? We come from Texas State, and we've been to multiple stadiums in our 4-game road sled. The first part of the season, and you look at some of this kind of the game day experience type stuff, with student sections and artificial noise makers and like the use of the jumbotron in order to create an advantage and communicate to the fans. Is that something that hopefully they will be able to utilize and like speak to what maybe fans that let me see how I can put it. Are there any changes to what we've used to doing? Is there some new things coming down the pipe that you can speak to? Is that because I know for me, I've always wanted to see the jumbotron utilized a little bit more to kind of engage with the fans during the game. Get up, make some noise on third down, noise meters, and all that stuff. But as you've seen that type of stuff, what's is there a plan to possibly incorporate some of those things to enhance the game day experience?
Yeah, I believe we always want to work toward making sure that our game day experience is like none other. Everything from the coordination with the boom to, getting people involved and cheering, the DJ dropping certain songs on, certain moments of the game. I think all of that plays a role. I think one of the bigger things is that we are capturing the essence and making sure that we're being the absolute best Jackson State we can be. And when I say that, I mean some of our traditions may not necessarily fit well in other markets, just the same as some of the stuff that happens in other markets may not fit well in ours. We have been meeting with our student leadership and finding out and getting our hands on the pulse of some of the things that they want to do. I think you'll see some things that look a little different this week. And they're going to play a huge part in how the game experience is shaped going forward. But no, we're really excited, and we got some things that you just got to be here to see. So if you don't have a ticket, you still got time. Go ahead and make sure you got that ticket locked in so you can come on by the vet.
I saw something out there where it talked about the students. So I guess they're using a form of text and through communication. Is that what we're referencing, where they're communicating kind of amongst themselves to just kind of coordinate a little bit better amongst the student body? Because the student section, man, the students are the ones that can really, I would say, tilt the scale for a fan base from a competitive advantage. You come to the vet, man, this big 60,000 seat stadium. Man, we love it when it's full, when it's packed out, and it's rocking. We got to be hostile. So that's encouraging to hear. And seeing some of the stuff that we've seen out there, like I said, that gives our fans something to be excited about. And then, too, the fans can also join in. You know what I mean? Like, we got our chance. We know what to do. We hear the sound on third down. We know to get up and make some noise. Now, I tend to be one that don't like to make a lot of noise when we're on offense in the red zone. But, hey, we do things a little different at Jackson State. But one thing I did have in relation to the stadium, because this is something that always comes up, we'll still see the banner above that section in the stadium. Okay. Good deal.
It'll be there this season. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think that was something that we just wanted to make sure folks understood. Much is going to be much is the same. How about from a lighting standpoint, did we do anything a little different? Because I know this year we have 2 evening games, usually homecoming and what was the other game that's daytime? Homecoming and Alcorn. Those usually are your early games, right? But I think we got Bethune-Cookman and Texas Southern is going to be those 2 evening games in the slot. So
No, well, we don't have
actually got one.
Texas Southern as an evening game.
Yeah, that's correct. I just thought about that. That's actually high school day. That's a daytime
Mm-hmm.
game. Never mind. I correct myself on that. You're right.
Yep,
so just this game.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yep.
Good deal.
Yep. You got one shot at it.
All right. Well, we're gonna make it work. And honestly, going toward the back part of the season, though, we know the weather changes anyway. So for those of us that don't like temperatures below 45 degrees, we actually appreciate the sun and like the daytime game. It was just the heat toward the early part of the season. So I guess being on the road kind of helped a little bit to get away from some of that. But but you spoke about tickets, though.
Yeah, temperature's gonna get a little nippy this weekend. They'll dip down into the 60s when we're playing on Saturday. So
that's perfect football weather to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll start off, man. I like it, man. I like it a lot. I mean, it'll be cool, man. It'll be nice and breezy. We don't have to worry about any of the elements. I peek my head under the tent to look at the forecast. So it looked like we're gonna be in a good environment for football Saturday night or Saturday evening.
Indeed.
Rather. But when you spoke about tickets, making sure that folks have their tickets to be there, can we talk about the fans that didn't take advantage of season tickets? What we hit around? I know season ticket sales, I think we got around 6,100. We fell a little shy of what we did the previous year. Can you speak to the importance for those fans that still like to walk up to, to purchase the tickets or wait and just purchase single game tickets? Because we always, I don't think, I'm not gonna say they don't know. I think that the messaging needs to be impactful when we understand the importance of how we use the data. Like the 6,100 season tickets sold, what would that do for Jackson State football if we can take that 6,100 and move it to 15,000 or 20,000 season tickets sold?
Yeah, that's always been a big push. That's always been a big goal of ours. When you sell a season ticket, that's a guarantee that somebody's looking to make that type of investment into the program, into the student athletes, and things of the like. Not that we don't want people buying single game tickets, but we, regardless if you're on the home side or the perceived away side, every seat in the stadium belongs to Jackson State. So the more season tickets we sell, the more it gives us that competitive advantage, the more it gives us that hostile environment to play in that you talk about, and it gives us the opportunity to do more as it relates to the fan engagement things. It's almost like if I invited you to my wedding, it's a RSVP type deal. And if you don't RSVP, you my man and all. I'm not saying you can't pull up, but you may not have a plate. So
right.
We want everybody to RSVP by way of go ahead and locking in those season tickets, because if you don't, when you add up the costs and you still end up coming to all 4 games and you're just waiting to buy those tickets, you may end up finding that you really just purchased 3 season tickets versus just purchasing the 1.
That's a great way of putting it. I love to see, us get to that place. Do you think that maybe the lack of urgency and for us to, because this is always the I guess the confusion for us, we averaged the most fans in all FCS, anywhere from 33 to we were 42,000, give or take a few seats last year, 40,000 the year prior to that. But when you look at the ticket sales, the season ticket sales, it doesn't never match the actual output. So obviously there's a lot of single game tickets that sold because you have to have a ticket to get into the game.
Right.
Do you feel that maybe because of the size of the stadium and the fact that people don't feel like they're going to always have a seat, You know what I mean? Like what we've had so many different ways to have the same conversation. From your own perspective, like how do we take this 42 number and steal some of those single game ticket buyers and move them to the season ticket purchasers? Like what do you think in your estimation as to what could help change that number and kind of shift it a little bit?
I think from my standpoint, it's just getting the message out there earlier and often. Just continuing to kind of beat the drum and remind people that, hey, this is what we got going on. Now, some people, they're just late purchasers. If I tell people one year that the last day to buy season tickets is January 1st, right? December 31st, they're going to be kicking down my door. Some people going to wait till January 3rd, right? But if I tell people that my last day for season tickets is July 31st, guess what they're going to do? They're going to wait. So a lot of times people want the information, but when we provide the information of when we're doing certain things, they wait, and then you still got a bunch of people that's going to say, well, I didn't know. I have to do a better job of making sure that we're communicating to our fans and our stakeholders what the dates are, when we're accepting things, when things go on sale, when it goes off. The one thing that I never, ever have to worry about is tailgating and parking. Tailgating and parking has been sold out since March 27th of 2023.
Wow.
It's going to evaporate. But that's because guess what? You don't have the 60,000 type of vibe going on with that. So it's supply and demand. It's basic economics. And, and we do everything that we can to educate our folks. But once I can start walking in a room and saying, hey, I sold 20,000 season tickets this year, you better get in the number. If not, you may not even have a seat. Once we get along, looking at things from that particular perspective and put some pressure on it, people always feel like, I'll just buy them later, So, we'll get there. But, it's going to take a little bit more educating, a little bit more of just keep pushing the envelope in our particular regard and getting the word out.
That makes sense. But it also drives to another point where that conversation that always comes up is about the stadium. We've been at the vet since I've been alive, man. There's always these conversations about a new stadium, a possible potential stadium on campus, all this other stuff. Obviously, we know that if that ever happens, which it could go either way, whatever. That's the plans. We've heard that, right? It ain't gonna be 60,000. I can tell you that much. That I don't see us redoing a 60,000 seat stadium, and I'm not even trying to get to a number, but you shave off 20,000. Let's say you get to a 38,000, 35,000, 40,000 seat stadium with a fan base that has averaged 42. Yeah, it's gonna be a little urgency then. You know what I mean?
Well, the other thing is, guess what I'm gonna do? Guess who's gonna have first right of refusal?
The ones that were purchasing at the 60,000 seat stadium.
The ones that was with us shooting in the gym. And
I like it. Yes,
and if you're one of those people, not that we don't value you as a fan or anything like that, don't get us wrong, but I'm going to go with somebody that's definitely supported us in RSVP time and time again. Before somebody that may come, somebody that may not come, so we'll remember the true blue faithful. We'll always do that, and we always want to reward that.
And I'll give one more question in regards to this data alone, because the question always comes up, and I don't have the information and I'm not even expecting you to even disclose some of the stuff, but that's always been kind of a curiosity for those of us that are wondering, like, where are we with the idea of a potential new stadium? We know that there's a lot that comes with that. I would just ask it this way. But then the next few years, is that a real reality for Jackson State University to one day really leave the vet and potentially relocate to a new on-campus stadium, state-of-the-art new facility? Like, is that something that's really, in the works, or maybe we're closer than we think we are? Because I don't have to know. I love the vet. You know what I'm saying? If I had it my way, Terrance, if I had the money, I would love to renovate it. But that's because that's all I know, But when you go to some of these places and you go down to the Senior Bowl, you go over to the stadium we was just at. You go to some of these stadiums and they're talking about a 30,000, 35,000, seat stadium with upgraded technologies. We're talking about luxury suites. We're talking about a new press box. We're talking about amazing lighting. And you're talking about being able to capture that on-campus vibe, for student athletes, and it enhances the quality. So then it kind of makes you say, you know what, I love the vet, but hey, I'm okay with a new thing, So what's the you hear one thing, you hear another thing, and usually the truth somewhere around in the middle. Based off what you can express, kind of speak to that if you can.
I would just say, just know that Jackson State has the hardest working vice president of athletics in the business, in Ashley Robinson.
Oh, yeah.
And just know that he's always thinking of ways to be bigger and be better. And he is having a lot of meetings with the right individuals that have the propensity to hopefully get us where we want to be. I say all that to say that you're never as far off as you think. Just have faith in the leadership, and that he is moving in our behalf in the right way. And he ain't steered us wrong yet. So we're gonna see how that works out.
Not at all. Hey, I appreciate you for sharing that. I'll say this before we get ready to close this one up. Anything that you have that you feel is that you like to share with Tiger Nation via Tiger Talk that we haven't already discussed?
Yeah, we're going to be releasing later on this week our Know Before You Go, just some tips and some tidbits that help everybody have a easier game day experience. Some of the things that you'll see on there, we'll talk about our opening and closing times for this weekend with our ticket office. We'll talk about, when gates open for tailgating. We'll talk about all of the things that, whether you're a Bethune-Cookman fan or a JSU fan coming in, you'll have a little bit of information to be able to navigate coming into the vet and having a wonderful experience. So that's something that we want to do before every game, and get the information out so that hopefully everybody can have their questions answered. And we are definitely and almost certainly we are a clear bag stadium. We are a clear bag stadium. We are a clear bag stadium. Please operate under those guidelines. We are a clear bag stadium.
I think they got it. If they don't, they'll know on the game day. A clear bag
We do
stadium.
not want to send anybody back to your car after you've marched up there to the gate.
Speaking of, we still we should be. I know we did a really good job of opening multiple gates last year. We still on par for that this season. Okay.
Yep, we are.
Good deal. Before you get out of here, got anybody want to shout out your team? I know Von's always working hard.
And listen, I got some of the hardest working ladies in show business. Yawanya Strada, Vaughn, Talia Strada. Look, that whole crew, man, they come in and they help us get it done. But none of this could be done without the leadership of A.D. Robinson and assistant AVP Elise Wells-Kilbert and just the whole crew, man. It's a total collaborative team effort, and none of us could function without each other. So it's definitely a shout out to the leadership, and we appreciate everything. And we appreciate, people like you that help us, push our message and get the word out. A lot of times, we call on you guys to help us get the word out to the Tiger faithful, just so that they'll be in the know. And that's what I feel like keeps us in front of the rest of the SWAC and other schools in FCS, because we have folks like you working behind the scenes.
I appreciate that. When you say me, there's the Corey C, Zoe, the whole crew, everybody that's part of what we do. And it's a labor of love. We continue to try to do it. But like I said, we appreciate you, hard work that you do. We know the stadium is going to be in great shape. We know the field's going to look good. It's going to be colored in just fine. And I know we kind of stole some of your time. So we want to give you back your time and just say how much we appreciate you and everyone you just mentioned for all the hard work you guys are doing. We're excited to be in the vet this weekend, and it is a red out. So to all the Tiger Nation, pack the vet. Again, we have Mr. Terrance Jones, Assistant Athletic Director of External Operations and the Director of the Vet. I love Go Tigers. We'll see y'all on Saturday. Appreciate your time for sitting down with us, man.
All right. Appreciate you. Go Tigers.
All right, brother. Take care.
All right.
Tiger Talk with the 1400 Club is presented by BetOnline.